Fitzy and Whipper.
And everyone was wondering last night, who is the celebrity that wants to leave the jungle?
I was in shock.
Beau Ryan got up in front of all the campmates and had this to say.
I travel a lot and I work a lot, and I remember growing up, there's a guy that lived 2 houses down from me, and their dad was always away for work, and I don't want to be that dad. So my journey here's over, and I'm a celebrity. Get me out of here.
Oh, wow.
I'll see you on the other side.
Oh, he's left the jungle and he joins us now, Beau Ryan!
Hey, how are you guys?
Hey, the whole weird thing about this is your wife didn't even really want you home.
Mate, I got literally when I got home, I hugged the kids, hugged her, and she just pointed at the pool and the lawns and said, "That's you."
See you later, mate. You're not a celebrity.
She
Get
said,
out
"Did you win
there.
it?"
I rang ITV. I said, "Get me back in there now." Right now.
So, Bowie, how far did you find out afterwards how long you had to go with filming? Like, how much longer was it?
Well, I left at midnight on a Monday,
Yep.
and then the last step was on a Friday, bro. And the final 6
Yes.
sort of had a Saturday together and flew back. So it was 4 or 5 days. But you know what, man?
You hated it.
Ask me every year, probably torture. Yes, I hated it. It was torture.
What was the worst part, though? What, like the animals, or just were you bored?
No, the animals. See, the animals and the trials are fine. And the thing about the show, you're being filmed 24 hours, and I was just like really cagey on the start of the third week, and I'm like, I've got to go do a trial, hey. And then we did 2 days in a row. I did no trials, and then they come down and said, today's a no filming day, so we're not actually using today. And that broke me.
Yes.
That really broke me. And I just had a thought in my mind, mate, and I just, you know what, to be honest with you, last night watching it was probably one of the hardest things I've had, because I've always been in control of all the stuff I've done. I've been really anxious the last month watching it. I've been really, it has been quite overwhelming, because I didn't really know what was going to air. And
Yeah.
last night was pretty emotional, and I was sort of, happy that it was over and I could move on. But it was quite tolling, man. It was a really tolling show. Like, in all seriousness, last night was really emotional with my daughter and that, watching it. And I had a lot of messages off mates, and that I did, man. I felt like a pussy. I felt really bad at myself. I was really upset with myself. But
No.
at the end of the day, man, I couldn't get through it, man. I couldn't.
Mate, you make a call at the time, you back it.
Well,
Yeah.
Beau, the other thing that we need to, because there was a lot of talk before you went into the jungle that there was a big argument between you and Nathan Buckley, because he revealed how much money he was getting. Now you're on a
What was he
you're-
getting?
You're on a network contract at Channel
I
10,
am.
and what they were saying is, because you're on a network contract, they said, well, Beau, we just want you to do this, basically go in there for free. So a lot of people are saying now, is this the reason why you were leaving? Because you weren't getting paid. I don't need to be here. I'm out.
Yeah, that's a good. I mean, the thing about when stuff happens with me, allegedly, or comments, I can sort of front radio with you guys, or TV, or even socials, and confront it. That was a hard one, man, because that was a week before the show started, and I speak to Bucks most days. He's someone who I really lean on for a lot of stuff, and he's going through a lot of stuff as well. But that one was hard. We didn't talk about money at all.
No.
300 is good money to do 4 weeks in the jungle. I didn't get that.
No.
Massive.
But he we never had a talk about money. He pulled me up a couple of times for being a dickhead, for responding through the fire, and throwing my toys out of it. You know what? I was worried when we got in there, because we got in there and Joey Essex and me were struggling.
Yes.
And I said, bro, how aren't you struggling?
Yeah.
And he said, mate, I've been a vegan for like 3 years.
Yeah.
I said, are you serious? That's not a footballer, man. We need real people in here. Real people who are struggling, not vegan.
Do you know, can you tell me this, Beau? Because I think it's quite fascinating. Because behind the scenes, quite often different personalities will have different things in their contract.
Yeah.
So
Warnie was on the Durries.
Warnie was on the Durries.
Yeah.
Some people have had, agreements where they're allowed to wear a little bit of makeup in the
Yeah,
morning.
Havana Brown was allowed to get her hair and makeup done.
Was there, Warnie had an agreement not to touch or have anything to do with spiders. And then in the final episode where he had a spider put on his hand, they had to sit down and have a meeting and discuss that prior to that moment happening.
Yeah.
Was there anything that you had in there where you said, I'm not doing that, or I will do that, or I'm in for X amount of episodes, or...
Nah, firstly, to clear up, there was no, whether I stayed 1 day or the whole thing, I got paid the same amount. There was no, you know what I mean? There was nothing like that. So I just wanted to clear that up.
That's fixed,
They said to me, going in, the day before I went in, I started freaking out about this snake pit.
Yeah.
And then Channel 10 said, yeah, all right, I said, I won't do that. So they put that in. So I definitely wasn't going to be doing the snake pit.
Yeah, right.
Which Dylan Lewis does. But I should have put in, because the second day I went in, I come out actually into the talkie and I said, all right, what's going on? Where's the coffee? The whole morning thing with the cigarettes. Where's the coffee, or can I get a banana? And they laughed. And at that moment, I realised I wasn't as famous as I thought I was.
It's annoying, isn't it?
And I knew I was in big trouble.
Yeah.
And people were talking about other stuff and how long the show... Because I kept going, how long does this show go for? Yeah. And everyone's like, didn't you read the contract? I was like, of course I didn't read the contract. I don't read any of the contract. I look at the money and everything else is irrelevant.
I love your honesty.
But the food got me, man. And I said this story last night on the show. When I got in there and I went to go for another cup of rice and beans, and they said, there is no more rice and beans. Yeah. I said, what are you talking about? And I literally went back up into the talkie. I said, no, I need some more rice and beans. They said, there's none here. I said, I'm going to get them out of here. And they said, you can't say that around everyone else. Yep. So I was like, okay, you've got to treat it seriously. And I went back and they said, no, literally, there is no more rice and beans. Oh. And I looked at Brooke McClimate and I went, this is going to be the worst experience of my life. And she said, there is no more food. And that voice, no more food, no more food, was in my mind for the rest of the 3 weeks.
That's what I try to tell myself on a daily basis.
Brookie McClimate, what a legend. And I mean, Dylan, how funny is Dylan Lewis? Can you give us who's the one person that surprised you, Beau, that you just went, oh my gosh, what a character?
Brooke McClimate.
Yep.
I met her before on the footy show. I knew she was talented, but she's a star. I mean, a lot of the start, she was sleeping. I think she was coming off some curries and, drinking. And we all sort of detoxed the first 3 or 4 days. The first 4 days was hard, man. No sugar, no caffeine. Yeah. But Brooke McClimate's a star. She is, you know what it's like, guys. You can see people who have got it. She's got it. Mm-hmm. Dylan Lewis is someone who I grew up watching, but he's similar to me. He's very emotional, but he plays it well, man. He knows what to do. He knows where the cameras are. Yep. He's a really classy guy, and he's going to win the show. I'll put my life on it.
Yeah, well done. Well, all right.
As if you would know. As if you would have any clue. I mean, who knows?
If I was a betting man, I would put my life on Dylan Lewis. You do what you want with that information.
You've thrown it out there.
Yep. Sports bets just shut down.
All right.
Love you, Bowie.
Hey, all right. I'm going to go get some more coffee and food. I love you guys. I'll see you in a couple of years, eh?
Hey, thanks for dropping in, mate. Thanks, buddy. Good to hear your voice.
Fitzy and Whipper.